Real lovers, what is going on? It's your man Jay Immanuel, and we are back over here at Right to Real Love with another amazing video. Today, I'm back with my man Felix with a clip from a discussion we had on what women need to know about introverted men. But today, we're going to be talking about why women would dump an introverted man. You're going to hear directly from an introverted man, my man Felix, giving you some reasons why a woman may be like, nah, it's over, bruh. She about to dump this introverted guy. And like I said, this is coming from a full discussion with my man Felix. It's exclusively available for our Patreon members. If you're not a Patreon member, the link is in the description if you want to become one. But without further ado, let's get in the video.
I know deep down inside, like if I said the things I really wanted to say while I was like talking to multiple girls at certain points in my life, I probably would like be dumped every single time. Because some people just don't like hearing the truth about certain situations, or like they want to know how you feel about a subject, but when you truly tell
handle
them
the truth, ladies,
it's like, whoa, you know?
Yeah. So I'm curious, because that can kind of go a few different ways, right? When it comes to like sharing the truth with people. Is it one end of the spectrum? I kind of look at it from the perspective where women get turned off if they ask a man to share like what his thoughts are and they perceive him to be like nonchalant, where he's like, yo, I don't really care about that situation. It is what it is. And he kind of like passes it back over to her.
But do they get turned off though?
What's that?
Do they get turned off with guys like that?
It depends. I think it definitely depends on how much she's feeling him before that happens, right? Because there's stages to levels of attraction and interest. So I think if she's still trying to like generate a higher interest in the guy, then if that's something that she doesn't necessarily look fondly upon, I think that it could have a negative impact. But like to your point, if she's already like invested in this guy, she really's feeling him, then she may just write that off, or it could even be perceived as a positive. So
let me pause right there. So ladies, that's me speaking from a man's perspective. Was I right? Was I wrong? Like, let me know. I may have been totally off on that, and I'll be the first one to admit it. I ain't got all the answers. I definitely don't know everything there's to know about women. So I want to know from the ladies, did I get that right? Did I get that wrong? What's y'all take on that? I would love to hear from you ladies to know, what things did I miss? What things did I get right? Help me out, man, so I can better understand y'all ladies the same way I'm here to help you to better understand men. So definitely keep in mind, ladies, that introverted men will have this desire to be upfront, be more direct, be more blunt, or, you know, give you the truth. And as we know, some people don't necessarily deliver the truth in the most receptive manner, right? In a manner where people will be receptive to it. So that's one thing. You got to ask yourself, is it the way he's delivering the message, or is it the message itself? And that's where you really got to step back, right? And be like, okay, what he just said, you could get all up in your feelings. You could clap back at him. You know what I'm saying? Give him a schmin in that, right? You could definitely get up in your bag and reach in and then give him a reading of his behavior, right? You can do all of that. But before you do that, you know, before you have to get all out of your feminine energy, maybe you should just fall back on this situation for a second. Evaluate the delivery that may have been whack, that may have been rude, that may have been trash, right? And evaluate the message. The message may have something of value in it for you, even though his delivery and the way he brought it was totally one that would make you act a whole different type of way. But that's just my take. Ladies, I want to know your thoughts. Help a brother out. All right, let's get back to it. I pushed it back so we can catch up where we left it.
Guys, she really's feeling him, then she may just write that off, or it could even be perceived as a positive. So yeah, that's possible. Yeah. What's been your experience? Like, I was just trying to get an idea of when you say you're telling them the truth and some women aren't really able to handle it. Can you give me an example of a time when
I had to ask that lady?
So that we
having examples is important.
Like, what was that?
I'm looking out for y'all, ladies.
Why do you perceive she like was turned off, or why a woman would be like, yo, I don't want to be with you because of that?
All right, so I'm gonna answer that, but I have to use this as a prelude to how I'm gonna answer.
By all means.
From at least he keep it a bean.
Age 14 to like I'm 22 now. So from
Okay.
age 14 to 25, I feel like the more you make somebody chase you, the better the relationship is going to be long term.
Let's pause it right there. What is y'all takes on that? He said between the ages of 14 and 25, the more you get somebody to chase you, the better the relationship will be. Let me know. What's y'all take on that? I don't know if I'm being honest. I'm not crying or nothing, but I just wadding a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I keep shit 100 over here with y'all. I don't know, man. I definitely think that having people chase you between the ages of 14 and 25 is definitely something that most men are interested in entertaining. I don't necessarily know if it makes for better relationships, though. It makes for more fun in your life. It definitely makes for more excitement. I don't know whether or not I see the correlation between the chasing and the relationship. The one thing that does come to my mind, though, is we know that there's this unwritten rule or principle in life where once men get locked down, right? They're locked down by the lady. She put the handcuffs on them. They're in a relationship with her. Now, all of a sudden, all of these women that seemingly weren't checking for you are coming from over here, over there. They everywhere. And they all on your line now. Now that you can't even entertain them. And you better believe that some of them is finer than the woman that you now in a relationship with. It's like, yo, it was you before I met her and got locked down. So in that regard, I think that there can be some correlation to the relationship being better, right? Because now, you know, you gotta kind of struggle through all of these women that's giving you the time of day that you probably or maybe weren't getting once you were a single man. But now that you're in a relationship, now you gotta kind of fight that off. And I think it makes it better. Maybe not so much for the relationship, but I'm speaking personally as a man. It makes you better when it comes to discipline, right? It's going to really begin to help a man, especially during that age range, right? 14 to 25, right? That's what we're talking about. It's going to help you to mature. It's going to help you to figure out whether or not monogamy is for you. You know, some dudes, they get that attention from them women and they don't turn it down. They can't do it. They not giving it up. You know what I'm saying? They trying to secure the bag at all costs, no matter what. They bagging it and they bagging her as well, right? Even if they got a woman. So we know that those are those men that during that phase, they recognize that, yo, being a one woman man, it's not for them. And more than likely, that's not going to have a positive impact on those relationships. But then the flip side is, I think for a man who gets into a relationship and he starts to see how more women are coming and he is exercising the self-control and the restraint to say, I'm going to just commit to this woman that I've already agreed to commit to. I'm going to mature. I'm going to learn how to rock out as a monogamous man in a monogamous relationship. And I'm going to just stay faithful to this one woman. It can strengthen that within you. It can build that discipline that a man will, I think, need in every aspect of his life. So I think that there may be some correlation to what Felix was saying in that regard. But definitely let me know what your thoughts are. We'd love to hear it in the comments. By all means. But let's get back into this. Let me push it back just a little bit before we go back into it. All right, here we go.
The better the relationship is going to be long term.
Okay.
Once you feel comfortable enough to let them in. But then you have to worry about letting them in and them getting bored.
Okay.
And I noticed that's like a reoccurring theme with like women. Like I've had girlfriends tell me, like actual girls who were my friends, like tell me like they get bored with the guy as soon as they figure him out.
Right.
That right there, that's real talk, right? One of the things as men that we have to be cognizant of, and even ladies to a certain extent in relationships, is you don't want it to get stale. You don't want it to get boring. You don't want it to get dry. Oof, when your relationship is all dry and crusty, rusty relationships, you know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want to keep the relationship vibing. You want it to be fun. You want it to be exciting. We know that there's ebbs and flows, right? To all things in life, including relationships. But for the most part, you want things to be going well. You don't want to be in a boring relationship and you don't want to be with no boring man. But this is the thing. Women can't just assume that because a man is introverted that he is boring. his definition of fun may be different from yours. And that's something that we actually get into in the full discussion with me and my man Felix. And with that being said, if you want to gain access to this full discussion with my man Felix, it's an easy way for you to do that. Just head over and become a Patreon member. That's right, baby. Go to patreon.com/Immanuel and you can become a Patreon, gain access to this full discussion. And like I said, we got 2 tiers currently at the moment. If you are seeing the value in the content that we're dropping, want to gain access to the exclusive discussions that we have on the Patreon, you want to become one of our day one real ones. Be one of the day ones. Be here with us from the beginning while we building this thing up, baby. Be one of the real ones that came aboard like, yo, I rock with y'all. I'm a woman and I'm trying to gain and improve my interactions with men. I want to understand y'all better. You want to lock in? This is the ways to do it, man. Tap in with the Patreon. You will definitely be able to find immense value in it. Like I said, that's where the full discussion with my man Felix is. But right now, we're going to get back into our current discussion. So let's get back into it. I'm going to take it back just a moment before he made that last statement. And let's get back into it.
Like they get bored with the guy as soon as they figure him out.
Right. I think that's true, ladies.
Right.
Once that man is figured out, it's a wrap. That's why y'all like that mysterious guy, that intriguing man.
Like just open up.
Still some mystery, still something to figure out about the brother.
But then once you tell them, it's like, there's nothing new to him anymore.
Yeah.
Hold on, I was talking
about
like let me take it back. There we go.
There's nothing new to him anymore.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't ever take it back far enough.
Like just open up to me and like let me in and I'll be there for you. But then once you tell them, it's like, there's nothing new to them anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm not like actively doing it on purpose though. I'm not like manipulating people. I just know that once you give people the information they want, they just move on. Like with anything. So
yeah,
that's facts.
Yeah. And that is that challenge, right? Because I agree with you. Once women feel like they have figured a man out, the interest level can definitely wane because like women like that excitement. I think
it'll crash.
As human beings, we kind of like that excitement, that
we do
uncovering something new. And if you just know everything about a person, that can become kind of monotonous in a sense. So I can totally understand why some people would perceive it that way.
But my gamers out there, it's like after you beat the game, how often do you go back and play it again? Like you got to be like a super diehard fan. After you beat the game, it's like, I'm done with that. It's a wrap. Story mode, that's it. Playing it one time. You know, especially if you're not avid, you trying to beat it on every, level. You trying to get all the achievements or milestones or whatever. Once you beat the game, it's a wrap. You don't care about it. It's just like after you've seen the movie, unless it was super impactful, you're like, okay, seen it, done it, never gonna see it again, right? And it's very similar in life with relationships, with men. Ladies, once you figure that guy out, you're like, that's it. That's all it is. Like, man, where's the depth? That's all that was there? That's all I was holding out for? That wasn't even worth it. Boo. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, on to the next one, right? So, as an introverted man, you got to keep a little bit to yourself, keep a little bit to your chest, work that to your advantage that, hey, women don't want to know everything. Even though they purport that they do, they don't. If there's certain things that they're still trying to learn or figure out about you, it's beneficial. And that's one of the reasons why, ladies, some men do tend to be more reserved and not sharing everything with you. They know that if they did, you'll be done. Like, okay, you got them all figured out. That's it. They're trying to prolong the excitement in the relationship, keep that engagement high, that attraction level high. And I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Not at all. Let's get back into it, y'all.
Uncovering something new. And if you just know everything about a person, that can become kind of monotonous in a sense. So I can totally understand why some people would perceive it that way. And I think that that's one of the reasons why, at least this is my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. I feel like most people do not tell everything about themselves to other people. And
if that's the case,
there is going to always be something that a person can learn or glean depending on how much the other person is sharing along that relationship.
That's real.
What's your take on that?
That's real, man. We're going to stop it right there. Yo, I want to know y'all thoughts, man. we talked about getting dumped at the beginning in the sense of an introverted man not opening up. But then you see the flip side of it is that if he's able to hold some things back, then that whole mysterious, intriguing label gets put on him again, and it works in his benefit because women are still, they still along for the ride. They still along for the journey, and they're like, yo, it's something more to this brother. They want to go deeper with this man. So if you want to dive even deeper into this discussion with my man, Felix, definitely tap in. Once again, I'm going to share with y'all the Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Immanuel. You'll get full access to this discussion. You can become a day one real one, or you can even become a part of our inner circle. Totally up to you. You'll get access to the full discussion with my man Felix, along with a lot of other exclusive content that's only available for our Patreon. So definitely tap in with the Patreon if you haven't already. And be sure to show my man Felix some love and support. There will be a link to his channel on YouTube in the description. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to catch y'all in the next one. Until then, y'all, stay blessed.